Have you ever felt like you knew someone completely, everything about them, only to find out after years that they were almost a stranger? That happened to me with Michael. We were together for 7 years, 7 long years where I thought we were a team, unbreakable, a love so strong, nothing could ever hurt us. But one night changed everything. Before I tell you about that night, the moment my whole world broke apart, take a deep breath. Some stories are hard, but they're important. If you've ever been deeply hurt, if your life was turned upside down in a second, maybe this will feel familiar. I always believed Michael and I were solid. 7 years. We built a life together. I couldn't picture my future without him. We weren't perfect. Nobody is. But we knew each other's little habits. We'd finish each other's sentences. Sometimes, just a look could tell us what the other was thinking. At least, I thought so. Now I stand here, in the cold night air, looking through a window at him with another woman. It feels like my world is breaking into pieces. It started small, like these things often do. For a few months, Michael was acting distant. Little things. Not really listening when I talked. Coming home late. Always keeping his phone face down on the table. I told myself it was stress. His business was going through a tough time. I saw how hard he worked. But then he started canceling our plans at the last minute. There were sudden late meetings, and I started smelling a new cologne on him, one I didn't know. Then I found a receipt in his jacket. It was for a fancy dinner at a restaurant we'd never been to. That's when the first real doubt started, but I pushed it away. I wanted to trust him. I needed to trust him. 7 years of life together builds a lot of shared memories, laughter, and love. Who wants to tear that down? It was a Tuesday night. Michael text, "Demi, working late, don't wait up." I had planned a quiet night at home, making his favorite dinner. But I just couldn't relax. I had a bad feeling in my gut that wouldn't let me sit still. Maybe it was a woman's intuition. Maybe it was worry that had turned into fear. I suddenly felt I had to go see him. I used to do that sometimes, bring him coffee when he worked late, or just sit nearby while he finished up. It felt normal, even comforting, the idea of being close to him. I walked down the long, dim hallway towards his office. My heart felt heavy, but I told myself I was being silly. I was just going to surprise him. Nothing else. But as I got closer, I heard something. Voices. Soft laughter. My breath caught. I slowed down, trying to hear better. It was a woman's voice. My stomach dropped. A cold feeling spread over my skin. I stopped outside his door. My hand was shaking as I reached for the handle. Part of me screamed to just turn around, to leave, to pretend I hadn't heard anything. But I couldn't stop myself. Something deep inside me needed to see. The door wasn't locked. It opened slowly, making a quiet creaking sound. And then I saw them. I stood there, frozen in the doorway. I couldn't move or speak. I just watched. Michael was standing there. His shirt was unbuttoned partway, his tie loose around his neck. His hair was messy, in a way that felt too personal, too telling. His hands, the hands that had held mine, that had touched me so gently, were now on her hips. His fingers were digging into her sides like she belonged to him. Her legs were wrapped tightly around him. She still had her black high heels on, the sharp points shining in the dim office light. Her blouse was open, falling off her shoulders. I could see her smooth skin and a black lace bra that made me feel sick. The desk made a quiet groaning sound as they moved. The sound was so familiar, but in this moment, it felt wrong and dirty. His face. Oh God, his face. Michael's head was tilted back a little. His eyes were almost closed. His lips were parted. He looked like he was lost in the moment, lost in her. He looked like he had forgotten everything else, completely unaware that I was standing right there, watching. I wanted to think it wasn't real, like a bad dream. But everything was too clear. The way his fingers pressed into her skin, the way her nails scratched his back, leaving faint red lines, the way her head fell back and she whispered his name softly, a sound that burned my ears. I couldn't move. My feet felt stuck to the floor. My body was numb with shock. My heart was beating so fast, the sound filled my ears. Every part of me wanted to run, to stop watching, but I couldn't. I couldn't look away from the end of everything I thought I knew. I felt the color drain from my face. My skin felt cold and clammy. My legs felt shaky, like they might give out. I took short, fast breaths, feeling panicky. My stomach hurt, and I had a sour taste in my mouth. The bag of dinner I brought slipped from my shaking fingers. It landed on the carpet with a quiet thud. It was a soft sound, but it broke the moment. Michael's eyes snapped open. He looked right at me. For a second, his face was empty, just pure shock, like he couldn't understand what he was seeing. Then his face changed. Panic, guilt, fear. "Sarah?" he said. His voice was rough and shaky. The woman turned her head to look at me. She looked embarrassed, but also a little annoyed, like I was the one who was interrupting something important. She quickly tried to pull her blouse closed, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. My eyes jumped between them, seeing every painful, shameful detail. The sweat on Michael's chest, the smudge of her lipstick on his neck, papers scattered on the desk like they'd been quickly pushed aside. The office, which used to feel like part of our life together, now felt like a battlefield. And I was standing there alone, with nothing to fight back. "Michael," I said. My voice was a whisper, broken. I didn't even sound like myself. He stepped back from her. His hand was still half raised, like he was trying to protect himself from my eyes. "Sarah, this isn't what it looks like," he mumbled. The words came out in a fast, weak rush. I let out a bitter laugh. It sounded sharp and strange. "Not what it looks like?" I said, the words tasting bad. "Michael, I just saw you. With her?" My voice broke. I put my hand over my mouth, trying to stop myself from being sick. My heart was pounding everywhere in my body. It felt like it might break right out of my chest. Tears were in my eyes, making everything blurry, but I wouldn't let them fall. I wouldn't let him see me cry. "How long?" I asked. My voice was shaking with anger now. "How long has this been happening?" He didn't answer. He just stood there. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. The woman next to him looked away, her face red, holding her blouse closed. "You can't even tell me, can you?" I whispered. The weight of his cheating felt heavier with every second. "You can't even say what you did." Michael took a small step towards me. He put his hand out like he thought he could touch me and make it all okay. "Sarah, please," he said. His voice sounded desperate now. "Let me explain." "Don't!" I yelled. My voice got louder. I took a step back. My hands were tight fists. "Don't you dare come near me." The words hung in the air between us. Heavy. Final. He stopped. His arm fell back to his side, and right then, for the first time, I saw him clearly. Not the man I thought I loved for 7 years. A liar, a coward, a stranger. I turned around. I walked out of the office. My steps echoed in the quiet hallway. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The picture of them, of his hands on her, the look on his face, the way he had completely forgotten about me. It was stuck in my mind. No matter how far I walked, I knew that picture would always be there. So, was I wrong to trust him so much? To believe in our love? This story might feel painful, but sometimes sharing our pain is the first step to feeling better. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is just walk away.